Hello, my name is Mariana, and today this is a reading for this new moon in Scorpio. So, because it is a collective reading, I am doing it with my big combined deck after a very, very long time. So, yeah, it feels weird but also exciting at the same time. So you'll see both of the tarot cards and the astrological oracle cards from this deck in your reading today. Although I have to say that in this spread here, there are only tarot cards. Although the card that is at the bottom that is already participating in the message is from the astrological oracle. So let's begin because I do feel like there is a very noble prospect, is what I'm hearing. Um, it feels like a not a fairy tale, but it's more like this epic saga, which is initiating today with this new moon. And it's fascinating because I do feel like there is a sense of it could go very wrong, but the prospects are really good, right? So, we're beginning with the Six of Wands, which maybe you can already imagine brings the message of victory. But the beautiful thing that this card is bringing, almost as like the title of the saga, or kind of like the announcement, the this announcement of this noble saga, this epic saga. It's wanting to be described. It wants to be represented by bridge to victory. It's not just victory, it's like this bridge to victory. But the thing about the Six of Wands is that it's still in its potential. It's not something that is yet concrete, or um, it hasn't fully manifested. Well, we are in the new moon, right? So it's like it's the start of a new lunar cycle. So things are about to unfold, even though there could be this collective fear or this collective it's like this caution because things could go wrong. The fascinating thing about the Eight of Swords is that it was the card that opened the extended yesterday for the reading that I did, and it was talking about seeing the veil, seeing the block, allowing this. Yesterday the sail was coming through in the archetype of the Hierophant, which was the teacher. But for the new teacher to come through, it's like the old one had to come down, right? But the extended was bringing the fact that the Eight of Swords, it's like, is the veil. It's like the Eight of Swords was acting as the filter, and it needed to be acknowledged and seen. And here, with this message of things could potentially go wrong, right? It's almost like there is this. It's almost like again, it's like going to the extremes that yesterday was. It was almost like this guidance yesterday of not expecting things to either go really, really well or really, really bad. It's like trying to find this balance between the two extremes. But the Eight of Swords here wants to be almost like this very, it's like this fatal destiny, right? It's like this crossing this bridge to victory could potentially be so dangerous that it's like things could go very, very wrong. And yet, with the Six of Pentacles, which is beautiful because if you see the thumbnail, you notice that the Six of Pentacles is right. It's like this. It's right underneath the Six of Wands. So what I was talking about, how the Six of Wands just a potential, it does manifest here. And the thing about this Six of Pentacles is that it's wanting to emphasize the fact that yes, maybe the danger is very high or the risk is very high, yet this bridge to victory is solid, is very um reliable, is very stable. It's like you can trust that the bridge will be there. It's like it will be a very it's like this reliable crossing. The interesting also thing about the Six of Pentacles is that it talks about this two-way street. So it's something that, you know, we as a collective, we are going towards this bridge, towards this success, towards the victory. We are crossing over to the other side. But the fact that we can trust this bridge is, I do feel like it's because it's not being built just from one side to the other. It's almost like there is this, um, it's like it's coming from both sides, right? It's like I'm just picturing like an abyss, but it's like there are two margins, there are two sides, and it's like going from one to the other means that there has to be this bridge, there has to be this crossover. But if it was built just from one side to the other, it's almost like it wouldn't be as secure, it would be fatal, it would be dangerous, it would be risky, it could go really, really wrong, right? But because this is falling away, because, just like in yesterday's extended, it's like this is seen, it's like this is now visible, this is now acknowledged. There is no fear, because it's like, you know fear only feeds itself. When you're no longer afraid of fear, it's like it has no purpose, so it falls off. And so when there is this certainty that this bridge towards this victory, it's like it's almost like this is the initial steps towards this epic saga. And I do feel like, because the sun is here, it's like it's going to be kind of like the blossoming of, our soul, our light, our essence, our beauty, our purpose. And I know that yesterday it was about the sacred purpose that is shifting and changing. And the sun was there talking about this shift from the lotus flower to the sunflower. But the sun today, especially because it's the new moon, it's almost like there is this point of, it's like waiting for the sun to shine. What I mean by that is like the same way that sometimes I see this symbol of the wand suit as a flower or as a tree. It's like there is this process, there is this natural, um, it's like live stage where things develop in a certain pace and there is this full bloom, right? It's like it's not like this sunflower is going to, it's not artificial. That's the thing. It's not artificial light. It's not something that you set an alarm and then it's going to bloom in your own time. Sometimes I see this as a clock face. It's like the natural rhythm of the sun, the natural rhythm of the earth, the natural rhythm of nature and the universe. So the sunflower, which I do feel like it's this guiding light, it's like this promise, right? It's like at the end of this epic journey, this epic saga, this bridge to victory is going to lead to this bliss. It's almost like this moment of enlightenment, but also this moment of receiving the reward, because it comes with the Ace of Sword. So it's fascinating because yesterday I was going to watch a movie that is called uh, The Sword of Destiny, and I had no idea that there was such a movie. I don't feel like it's new. I feel like it's an old movie, but anyways. So here it feels pretty much like this destiny towards truth. So it's not, sometimes I see the Ace of Swords as like this sword of truth. And there is a relationship in regards to the delicate nature of a flower, but somehow the sunflower doesn't seem to be delicate at all. It feels almost like this certainty that the sunflower is going to bloom either way, because it's like the worst case scenario is now falling off. It's like it's not, it's like this timeline is not going to be manifested because the bridge is secured, the bridge is solid enough. And so this blooming of this consciousness, this blooming of the truth, is like this is what's going to pierce through this crossing, right? The sword is like the crossing of, one side to the other. And because this is what is piercing through, it's almost like it needs to be precise. And I mentioned this just because we do have two cards that are finishing here, but I just want to go to the bottom of the deck because it's the Virgo sign. And this card is talking about precision. And I do feel like it's connected to the Ace of Swords because this sword of truth that could damage, let's say, the delicacy of the sunflower, there is no danger. There is no real danger because you see here how it's like this Ace of Swords. It's like it's going to, how do you say this? It's like minimize the power or the damage of the distortion of the veil. It's almost like the one sword of truth that is going to allow this, it's coming through with the word camouflage, the camouflage to go down, right? Or to, it's like it's not, I'm seeing this almost like curtains opening up and giving way to what was just a potential, what was just um kind of like this potential of this blooming or this opening up of this beautiful, beautiful sunflower. It's like it's almost like this internal potential that is now going to be seen, that is now going to be visible. But I do feel like it's almost like it blooms with this process of this crossing from one side to the other because that's the journey of maturing, right? It's like the saga is the journey of just growing up, coming of age, right? Becoming conscious, like just becoming aware of the truth, but being the truth because the Ace of Swords is like it's the it's almost like the moth to the flame. It's like this Ace of Swords is like it's guided to, it's almost like it's wanting to be like a bee, right? The bee that is attracted to the flower, but in this case it's like this truth that is just connected with the light, the consciousness. And so there is this thing about the delicacy of the flower, and yet this truth is not going to hurt. It's like the sunflower is very strong. This is what it wants to be. But yes, it requires precision. It requires, because Virgo is such uh it's like a nature driven person, right? A person that is so connected with the natural processes of the earth. It's like even though truth can be very sharp, it's like it's not going to be as critical or as fatal as it would if it was the Eight of Swords, because we're ending here with two nines. And, you know, I just showed you how this Ace of Swords is like it's piercing even through the veil itself. Perhaps it's what it's bringing it down, I want to say, because it's almost like the other swords were just the camouflage, were just the cover up, were just, it's like the filter. It was like fog. It was meant to bring confusion, or it was meant to bring distortion. It was meant to bring this risk, right? This alert. It's like, just be cautious, right? It's almost like it's the fear threshold that Sen talks so much about, and I love that the term that she uses. It's like the Eight of Swords is, it's meant to be fearful. It's meant to be, this angsty, um, repellent energy. But because there is this Ace of Swords, and here we're ending with the Nine of Swords, right? It's like the Ace of Swords does pierce through all of the other swords. So it's like it feels like now it's not just the veil that is coming down, but it's like the curtain that is opening up for this bridge, right? For this crossing to happen towards this field of sunflowers. And you know, because the Nine of Cups is coming first, remember that I was talking about how this Six of Pentacles is this two-way street. So there is a portion of this journey that happens with this sword that is going one way, which I do feel like it's almost like this search for the sun, search for consciousness, for the light, for guidance, for beauty, for happiness, for joy, whatever you want to associate with this. And also because of the process of nature, right? It's like these cycles of the moon, the cycles of the sun, the cycles of the universe. It's like it's been a long time coming, but because it requires such precision, and the precision is like how the bridge is going to be solid enough, because the two sides need to collide, but not in a fatal way, right? Because it's like the worst part is it hasn't fulfilled itself, it hasn't manifested. Instead, the Nine of Swords is meeting the Nine of Cups. So it's almost like balancing out. Yesterday, the Justice was talking about balancing the two sides, right? And so here, in order for this crossing to happen and for it to be secure, for it to be solid enough, the Nine of Swords, which is almost like overcoming the fear, allowing to go even through that very thing that was causing like the it's like the biggest reason to be cautious, to be fearful, to not want to do this, right? Maybe to, it's like just hold on to your hopes that this is the bridge to victory, but there are obstacles, right? It's almost like, are you sure you want to cross this? There are going to be obstacles. You don't even know what's on the other side. You don't even know if there's going to be another margin. You don't even see what's, on the horizon. But the security comes because it's being built from both sides. And it's almost like there is, I want to say that the Nine of Cups is wanting to be like the love of the universe, or even like Mother Earth, right? It's like Mother Earth will never let us fall, right? It's like it wants us to thrive, it wants us to find balance, it wants us to find harmony, it wants us to bloom. It's almost like the earth blossoms with our blossoming, if that makes sense. It's like, because Virgo is like the only sign that is represented by a human figure, right? A woman. It's almost like the embodiment of Earth. So the Earth itself would never want our, like, the worst case scenario would never want this. Uh, it's like this very critical. You see what I mean, right? It's almost like it doesn't even want me to continue describing that, because the focus is the victory. It's like the bridge is leading to victory, is leading to success, is leading to enlightenment and to this consciousness, right? This full opening of the mind, this blossoming of the sunflower. So, but there is, it's like this pursuit of truth requires precision because it doesn't want to harm the delicacy of this blooming, and it's not going to, right? Because we already saw that risk, it's like it's being removed, it's not even in the equation, but it starts. It's like because we are confronting our fears, because we are allowing to take ourselves to the fear threshold and not it's like walk back, it's or not be afraid and turn around. It's like we are going to be met exactly by, it's almost like the other extreme, which is love, right? It's basically, it's like this is the other side of the equation, this is the other side of this bridge, the other margin. So because you see here how the hearts are pointing this way whereas the swords are pointing this way, so there, this is the bridge. And it's interesting because it's wanting to be almost like, is the crossing supposed to take you to the other side, or is it is it really actually meant to just be this blending of the two extremes in the middle? And I feel like this is yet to be seen because it's part of the saga, it's part of the journey, right? It's like what the message today is bringing. It's like, yes, there is this immense courage to win over or to overcome the fear threshold, because like the fulfillment, it's like the earth wants this purpose to be fulfilled, wants this crossing to the other side to be fulfilled. It's like it's the desire, this universal desire, this universal wish fulfillment that is coming our way. So it's like it's just perfect. It's almost like the building blocks are just fitting perfectly in a very, I want to say, like, you know, before this moment, it's like it would be seen as a very precarious or like a very rare, almost impossible task, right? But the promise was already here, and it's just growing up with this sun. It's like the sun is the confirmation. It's like the flower will bloom, the sunflower will shine. And so the potential is going to be fulfilled, right? The truth is going to be found, or maybe found is not the right word. It's like it's going to be exchanged. There is like, it's like the truth of love is coming to meet this search of truth. So it's like there's going to be this meeting in the middle. So that's interesting. It's almost like I want to know more. It's almost like it's it's meant to continue, right? Okay, so I am going to pull more cards to see where this wants to go, and also I'm going to pull from the astrological rooms in the extended reading. So if you want to join me there, you can find a link down below. If not, I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.